Good morning, dear friends. Here we are. New day. It is a new day. It's a new beginning. And let us make no mistake. Renewal is the invitation. Today, Emmanuel, as we continue reflecting on his messages from the book Line 200, a book that was psychographed by Chico Xavier in 1981, when he completed 50 years of the publishing of the first Spiritist book through his hands. In that line of hard work, Chico Xavier brings Emmanuel's message today, which is chapter 17, Titles. Emmanuel says, the titles that adorn the earthly personality are granted by the Lord, and we cannot deny their unquestionable responsibility. Were it not for the natural hierarchy that presides over their values, the governance of all peoples would not have overcome barbarism. Science would not establish itself as the guardian of civilization. Work would not be able to dignify itself in the framework of merit, and universality would not emerge among nations guiding their steps towards the greater life. Just as earthly justice, even if incomplete or fragmentary, would not ensure the relief of order on the paths of the world, which would then be nothing more than an inhospitable lodging of savagery in the chaos. All the titles that ennoble humanity and the community are opportunities for service that we must honor in the range of action to which we have been called to learn and to serve. Therefore, it is not wealth that tarnishes its owner, but rather the excessive ambition with which greedy hands appropriate the gold. It's not public authorities that disfigure the one who maintains it, often with sacrifice. It's not cruelty with which, in certain cases, is exercised by the senseless intelligence that handles it, far from true equity. Let us remember that in all circumstances of life, whether they are of abundance or lack, of command or subordination, we are obligated to use the Lord's loans with respectful humility, employing them for the good of all, which is our own good, ennobling the human path and illuminating it wherever we are, in the certainty that the title is a registration in the work of humanity and of God. Since in the simplest panel of daily path, the incarnate spirit receives the title of man or woman as a primary step of introduction to celestial citizenship. Today, you and I, in this message by Emmanuel, are to evaluate we ourselves. What are we doing with all the resources that were granted to us? What are we doing as individuals? The collective is a consequence of the sum of all of us. Are we thinking of the greater good? Or are we so selfish, narcissistic, vain? We can't complain when we see the collective mindset choosing narcissism, choosing selfishness, choosing prejudices, because deep inside, we are still like that. It's a hard message to accept, but inside of all of us, we have a mirror image of the collective. The collective has also a mirror image of ourselves. So today, Emmanuel is saying that the person who is ennobled uses the opportunities to serve, to learn and to serve, to think of the general good. But are we? Are we doing that? That's our exercise today. To evaluate how we can be less self-centered, more selfless, more prioritizing the general good. We spiritists need to be more coherent with the message that we have received. Let us meditate on this today and see how we can contribute with a better world, if and only if I better myself. Dear God, in our smallness, we have a hard time understanding ourselves and seeing ourselves for whom we truly are. Do not allow us to focus on others, to demand from others, but to focus on ourselves. Please help us understand the much we need to refine in us so we can be happier sooner than later. We feel at this moment your merciful, loving, healing energies permeating ourselves, enveloping everyone who is in this circle of prayer and needs a boost of hope, a boost of joy, and the courage to do the good. We're tired of our selfishness that has led us to days like this. We're tired of our self-centeredness that have us living this very day. We would like to renounce everything that we no longer need. Thank you, dear Lord of life, for the gift of this new day in this reincarnation. We know that everything that we're living is under your permission. May we stay in serenity, trusting that the good is all there is. Everything else is a temporary moment. May we be courageous to build the good today, more than we've ever done in our lives. Thank you, dear Lord of life, and so be it. Do we trust in God, dear friends? Yes, we do. Trusting in God, we trust that whatever God has given you and I, He is relying upon our divine essence. Let us multiply the good with all the resources we have at hand and rejoice because all we can do is inside of us. Thank you, friends, for joining us. Thank you, Maria. Big hug to you. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Ebony. Thank you, Ebony. Thank you, Felipe. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Slavik. Thank you, Lu. Thank you, Narciso. Thank you, DSP. Thank you, Tiago. We wish you all, live and on demand, a beautiful day, beautiful night. In full surrender, in serene surrender to God. Thank you, friends.